Hello everyone, I'm Jesus and welcome to the next episode of The Road to Old School MTG. So this is a very important video because this is the culmination of the road so far. I have here 5 packages that I will be opening up for the 5 remaining cards to complete my Old School Magic Erhnamgeddon deck. So here I have 55 cards so far. This will complete the 60 card deck. So I do have one small caveat, which I'll explain, but that doesn't stop me from saying these final 5 cards officially completes the deck, right? Other than that one small caveat, which I'll explain. So in this video, of course, I'm going to be opening up those packages, officially completing the deck. But I also want to give a full rundown of the whole road so far in terms of the original inspiration, my initial deck list, and then the substitutions I've made since then. And then just to give the full rundown of everything, then I'll open the cards. I'll also talk about some accessories that I bought to just help with the eventual playing of the game, taking care of the cards, so forth. And finally, I'm going to give my reasoning for what will be the immediate next step after this video. I decided not to play right away, and I'll explain that step. All right, so first of all, I want to start with just sharing the initial inspiration for my version of the Erhnamgeddon deck. So this is a video from Timmy the Sorcerer, a great video on a lot of old school decks, matchups, people playing each other in 93, 94, usually old school format. And so I've seen a lot of other Erhnamgeddon deck videos, right? But this was the one that spoke to me. I really like this version. So I didn't do anything with the sideboard, right? I just wanted to focus on the 60 card deck. That was daunting enough, just that, right? And then and also because the sideboard, it was going to be dependent on just what groups I ended up joining, what I saw in terms of playing. So this sideboard may be different than what I end up doing, right? Or maybe not. But I just didn't want to deal with that. I just wanted to focus on the 60 card deck. So from this video, I cropped the image and then I did research in terms of the pricing. These are the prices that I came up with in terms of just me researching on eBay. And these are estimates. For the most part, they're pretty decent. And if you notice the price total here, $8,801, right? So that was definitely cost prohibitive to me. I was not willing to spend that much money, not nearly close. But I rationed I could definitely spend $1,000 or less. So that's where my version came into play here. So if you see here, this version is $857, right? So I figured I could do a $1,000 deck, right? And then by taking out 7 cards, I removed basically $8,000 from the equation. So the 7 cards I ended up removing initially were first of all, 2 Moxes, valued Mox Emerald, Mox Pearl, valued at least 3,000 each, and these are for unlimited edition versions because they didn't get reprinted in revised. Same thing with the Chaos Orb. This unlimited Chaos Orb for probably 1,000 for one. And then I had 4 Savannahs for revised. Revised is the last time the dual lands were reprinted. So I estimated that I could get each of them for around $250 each, right? So just those 7 cards, that's $8,000. So I figured if I remove those 7 cards, made the deck below 1,000, I was willing to do that. So that's where I came out with my version. So with those 7 card differences, what I substituted it for was, first of all, the Moxes, I replaced it with 2 Birds of Paradise. Although I've been reading in the comments, maybe a better swap will be just more basic lands. So I might go that route as well. But for now, I have the Birds of Paradise. For the Chaos Orb, I just substituted 1 Strip Mine because the Chaos Orb can destroy any permanent in play, right? As long as it flips over and then it lands on it. But I already had enchantment, artifact, and creature removal. The only thing that was missing was land removal. So I figured the Strip Mine was a better substitution because it was a pinpoint removal as opposed to balance, which is more generic and the opponent chooses. Although somebody might have gone with balance as the substitution, balance is also a very powerful card. And then for the 4 Savannahs, I just put in 3 more 4s and 1 more City of Brass. The original version only has 3 cities of brass. So I added 1 more and then I added 3 more 4s because this one only had 4 4s. So that's my version, and you see the big price difference there, right? But what I ended up with in the end is this. So I convinced myself to add the Savannahs because I reasoned for $1,000 investment, basically, give or take. It was an estimate initially. I could have 4 Savannahs or 1 more Chaos Orb. So I figured that was a bigger bang for the buck, and it just makes the deck that much more stronger, more consistent. I currently have only 3. One of those packages that I'm opening up is my 3rd one. So that's the one caveat I mentioned. I will be adding 1 more. I've already bid on a couple more, but I didn't win the auctions and they just went over what I was willing to pay. But I am on the hunt for that 4th one. I do want a full playset of Savannahs. So that's just imminent. It's just for when the correct one comes up and I win the auction or something comes up on Buy It Now on eBay, right? I am also looking through other means, Facebook Marketplace for Old School, and also I went to Card Kingdom. That's how I got one of the Icy Manipulators, actually, and I'll talk about that. So I have been going into alternate means of purchasing these cards other than eBay. So, but other than that one Icy Manipulator, everything else I've gotten that I bought was from eBay. All right, so when I add that 4 Savannah, and then in reality the deck is over 2,000, right? Because I underestimated the Icy Manipulators. I did get 2 for around $90 each, but another one I got for $140, another one for $130. So that's a big difference from 90. Right, and then also the Savannah is $250 estimate. You can definitely get it for $250, right? Maybe even a little cheaper, tiny bit cheaper, not too much cheaper. But they tend to be moderately played, even heavy played, right? So I actually ended up getting really nice Savannahs for 2 for $285, 1 for $295. So below 300, I ended up getting 3 really nice ones. That's why on that 4th one, I'm still waiting because so far they've gone over 300. And I know I can get them for 300, below 300. I've already gotten 3 of them. So it's just a waiting game and me waiting for the right opportunity. But once I get it, I'll probably take out just 1 City of Brass for that 4th Savannah, just to keep in line with the original inspiration, right? This one only had 3 Cities of Brass and 4 Savannah. So I just want to keep in line with that, that original inspiration. And then the colors here that you see are just the waves of purchases that I made. So first in white, the basic lens I already had. So that didn't cost me anything, but maybe add a couple bucks here and there if you wanted to, if you are literally starting from scratch and you wanted to buy some lens. The red was the first wave that I purchased. Then the gold was the second wave of cards I purchased. The green was the 3rd wave of cards. And then all these bluish, purplish ones, that's the 4th wave, but the 4th round, but different waves, right? Because these are more expensive ones and I wanted more near mint versions of these cards as much as I could get them for. So first I got an Icy, then I bought I believe about 2 Sylvan Libraries, then 1 more Icy Manipulator, 2 land taxes, 2 more land taxes, and then the last purchase was 2 Icy Manipulators to complete. So I have 2 Icy Manipulators here. I have 2 land taxes here. I have that 3rd Savannah here, and then, like I said, I have 1 more Savannah to go to complete the final vision of a full playset. But that doesn't stop from this deck still being playable right now. All right, so that explains just the background, the history of where it started, what I first envisioned, and then the compromise. All right, so now as I open up these cards, I'm also going to refer to the to the listings that I bought them from 4 of them from eBay, 1 of them from Card Kingdom, just to verify the quality and so forth. Okay, I do have a different camera here. Let's see, I'm going to give that a shot just to, especially since this is the final video of, you know, the combination of everything, kind of give a better idea of the quality of the cards that I'm receiving. And actually, before I do this, that reminds me of the additional accessories that I bought that I kind of want to also go over. So one thing about was these Hypermat card sleeves. So these tended to be very well-regarded card sleeves, and these are for playing, right? So I think they might also be called deck sleeves, I'm not sure, but right, they are for your deck, right? Not just for storage, right? For collection, but it's meant to be played with, right? So here, I bought that. I bought a 2-pack because maybe just thinking about what could be my next deck eventually, right? Not anytime soon, but it came just a little bit more for the 2-pack, so I figured why not. So same thing, I bought the 2-pack for these. These are the inner sleeve, clear sleeves. So the Hypermat, this one here does these red card sleeves, and then here these are the clear, kind of almost like penny sleeves, right? But these are more tight, they're more form-fitting, because these are supposed to fit in the first on the card and then fits within this red sleeve, right? Just to give it an extra layer of protection. You put them, you invert them in terms of how you place them. As I open these cards, I'm going to do all that. That just gives a better seal, so both sides of this sleeves are protected, right? So just in case. So I just figured, especially with some cards now being worth 300 basically each, Icy Manipulators like 100 each at least, I think it was worth it for me just to invest a little bit more to give a better protection. And you know, if ever I want to sell this thing, you know, just gives it'll maintain the value more. And then the last thing I purchased, which I still haven't received, but I am pretty excited, is I bought this Black Lotus playmat. That looks pretty cool. All right, well, these are the other, you know, just examples, right? So it's basically a big mouse pad, but it's meant for playing the game, of course. And right, so this area here, right, you guys see kind of some instruments and stuff, right? So it's my generic area where I practice music. I also do my work. I like to eat while I work. Right, so it has a lot of stuff, multi-use, right? So not necessarily the cleanest all the time. So that's why I want to have a play mat that I know I'll keep it that clean always, right? After every use. And then I could just put it to the side when I want to play, just flap it on top of everything. So whatever was happening there, it's not going to be affected, and then my cards can be more secure, right? So that was the reasoning for that. So these are the 3 additional accessories that I purchased for this. And in hindsight, actually, I could use also a kind of like deck box, right? Because this didn't, right now I just have it like this loose. But you know, with COVID and everything, this I may not, and I haven't been able to reach a in-person play group for Old School, right? They're very limited, right? Not a lot of people play this version or this version of Magic, right? So the play groups I've been able to join are on Facebook, right? And that's just through Zoom, right? Through online. So so right now I don't need it, but maybe in the future, if I do get the opportunity to play in person, I might also buy a deck box. Okay, so I just want to go through that. Now it's time to open the cards. I'll sleeve them up with these 2 things, like I mentioned, as I open them up. And as I open it up, also we'll refer to the final eBay listings that I got these from. So first of all, this one, just a bubble mailer. Seems like probably cardboard because it's pretty stiff. The these kind of card protectors. I forget what they're called. Right, just the very clear ones are penny sleeves, right? And then you got your deck sleeves, I guess that's what I call them. Card sleeves and top loader, that's what they're called, right? So they have a little give, right? So this one seems very stiff. So it's probably not, or at least it probably has some kind of additional protection, which is appreciated. So these two here should be the top ones. I'll go in order of from least importance or least value. These should be the two land taxes. So I got these in 4th edition. So this is one of the two. And then after we examine, yep, that's what I figured, right? So from opening so many packages, I can kind of, feel what's, how people package them, right? And then, yep, within it is the top loader. So I think pretty decent protection. Ooh, I was wrong. Okay, so we're getting, this is Icy Manipulator actually. Okay, so I mixed up the order there, not a big deal. They were getting open, all of them are open, going to be open anyway. But, we're jumping into a more expensive card than I anticipated. Okay. All right, so this seller here really ticked it up a lot. Well, to keep it secure, plus there's an additional penny sleeve inside it. Right, that's pretty standard. So, right, the top loader inside the penny sleeve within 2 cardboard cutouts within the bubble wrap. So very, very nice condition. So yes. So I'm going to check the this is from eBay. So I got this for 90, I'm pretty sure. So like I said, I'm going to review the listing that I bought it from. So let me adjust my camera here. Okay. Okay, so let's see if the zoom thing on this can do anything. Okay, there you go. So at least it gives you a better idea, right? Look at the edges, it's pretty white all around. This is unlimited because Icy Manipulator was not reprinted and revised. Excellent back, right? So tiny little things maybe at the edges here and there, right? So kind of up top. I don't know if I can go zoom in more. Yeah, you can see it a bit, but honestly, that's nitpicking. It's very solid condition, right? You can see it more, right? The weathering on the edge, the black border. But as I said, I got this for around $90-ish. Honestly, other people were selling it for like heavy plate for like over 100. So I kept on waiting because I knew it was gonna come, and I got a really nice one. So very, very happy with this card. All right, so I like to inspect it from an angle, right? Just the light catches on different aspects of the card. So I do see some scratches here and there, but like I said, it's other than if you hold it from certain angles, it's not really very visible. Looking at the back, has very few scratches, so it's more just the weathering on the corners of the borders. But excellent purchase. So let me start putting them in the protective sleeves that I have. So this is the special inner sleeve. So it's tight, so you put it from the top on it, and it's a very, very snug fit. You see that? In fact, that you kind of gotta push it in, right? And it doesn't fall out because it's that tight. It's that the precision is that good. And then that, you see, so up top is sealed. The opening is from the bottom, but that's what's going to be, that's what's going inside here. So that just gives you now protection up top and down at the bottom, and of course at the sides, right? So this is basically as protected as the card can get in terms of putting these in all the sleeves that it can have. So very happy with it. Looks great, especially for the price. Very nice. All right, so let me open up that particular listing, right? And remember, since I got two, I want to make sure I get the right one. And actually, this one's simple because the other one is from Card Kingdom, right? So this is the last one anyway. Okay, so here's the listing. Just want to put up the original listing. Okay, so here you go. So this was ended up being an auction. I believe, yep, I was the only one who bid on this. So I saved this. I saw this listing. I saved it on my favorites watch list. And then I think on the last couple of minutes I bid and nobody else was bidding, right? But I thought people were gonna snipe, where in the last kind of final seconds, people place their bid, right? Which is what I tended to do also. But nobody ended up bidding me. So I got it for 90. For that condition is excellent. Look, you see on the back here, right? You can see that weathering, like I said. But you know, the zoomed up picture here is way more perceptive than the naked eye, right? Just from us looking at it, the condition is way better, you know, just from our own vision. And look at the front, very nice, right? So you know, a couple little things. Honestly, for me looking at it, I don't even see. Okay, I do see those little specks there in the corner, but it's in real life, it's even tiny, right? This just amplifies everything. Very, very happy with this $90 Icy Manipulator. You can definitely get them for like over 100, well over 100, 120, 30, 40 in moderately played, even heavy played. Some people are asking for like 140, 150 for a heavy played one, right? So which is kind of ridiculous. So for a lot of, you know, the higher price things, it's worth to take your time and do your research and wait for the right opportunity. So that one was great. So very happy with that transaction. So this one here is, there we go. There's the logo Card Kingdom. So similar bubble mailer. Seems like it also has some kind of a cardboard protection, right? So I think it'll be similar protection to the other one. So it has the receipt. Let me get some stuff out of the way. Ooh, I haven't seen this yet. So it came in this little plastic container. So that's why it was so stiff. So this is definitely stiffer than the top loader, right? So far this was tended to be the gold standard, right? This is the strongest you can get, you know, just from you know, something that was made for cards, right? Of course, people also put cardboard and other methods, right? But you know, that's not made specifically for cards, but it still helps, right? So, but this tended to be what I ended up wanted most of all. So I'm really glad that Card Kingdom went above and beyond. This is like a little tomb for the card, right? So it looks pretty cool. All right, so, and then they put a little, some kind of a foam so that the card doesn't move around in this casing. So, and then they taped over on the corners of the tape here so that it's easy for me to pull on. So all those little touches are very nice. So I think this card came in very nice protection. So I don't have the listing for this purchase, because it didn't show anything, because it didn't have a picture of the actual card. So I got this thing here, whatever this is, looks cool. Okay, here's the card. Ooh, this looks great. All right, so I'll put the close up. So I do see a little nick at the corner, so that's the worst thing. That's probably the worst thing about this. So light scratches, but clean. So just clean wise, it is very clean. And I think the back is better. The borders are darker, right? So it's less weathering, but definitely don't like that little crease at the edge. So I'll show that. But honestly, that's, once again, I think that's kind of nitpicking. And so even though I don't have something to show for this in terms of what I bought, I do have a Card Kingdom explanation of the grading guide, and then just to explain this. So let's see if the zoom here can give me a good image. There you go. Here you can't really tell. I'm not sure which. Okay. So it's on, the neck is on this side here. So let's see if I can zoom it in. Yeah, just this. There we go. You see? So definitely a noticeable nick, but on an otherwise great card. The quality is solid. Here's the back. All right, so very little weathering, just looks very solid. So definitely I'm happy with it. I think other than that neck thing, it's very nice. So like I said, I can't show anything. I bought it for $128. I remember that, but they don't have actual price pictures of the cards themselves. At least maybe not for this price range. Maybe if it was more expensive, I don't know, right? But I have looked into like collector's edition boxes, and they still also don't have individual card photos. They just have a generic photo. This one was a generic photo, but it was listed as excellent condition. So I do want to refer to that, their grading guide as a reference to what I got received here, right? So this was $128, so $40 more than the other one, right? So that's almost 50% more, right? So I wouldn't say it's 50% more than the first one that I received, which is over here. We put them back to back, right? And actually this one, the Card Kingdom, that crease may be more damaging to the overall value of the card, right? Because once you get to creases and things like that, you go into damaged territory, right? So I don't know if that qualifies as damaged yet. I wouldn't think so. But it's definitely closer to damage than any other one. But that's still to me, that's nitpicking, because this is a very small thing and it's still very good quality. So I'm still happy with it. But I do want to refer to the Card Kingdom grading guide, just in terms of if anybody else went that route from purchasing from them. This is my personal experience, right, with that particular Icy Manipulator. So the card that I bought, it was listed as excellent condition, which is the level below near mint, right? So here it doesn't even say anything is mint. I guess they just want to protect themselves. So the highest they give, according to this, is near mint, and then excellent here. So examples of excellence, right? So it just has slight little things, which just this one didn't have, right? So this one, mine was actually better condition, and slight scratches here and there, which maybe you can tell under certain angles, which that's definitely more accurate, right? So I think yeah, basically, right. So kind of bummed about that nick, but all in all, the card is pretty solid. All right, so that's 2 Icy Manipulators from Unlimited. All right, so these 2 then that are coming up should be the land taxes. So same thing, bubble mailer. Ooh, also very stiff inner protection, right? So, and seems like it's probably, maybe it's even similar to this one, the Card Kingdom one, where it came in a little plastic container. Let's see. Okay, well, just cardboard, but very stiff cardboard, right? Very extremely stiff. Actually, yeah, it's more like particle board actually. So I guess in the end, it kind of gives a similar protection to this, maybe even more so. So I appreciate the going that extra step, although this seems tricky to open up because of it. I need to be careful here while I cut the side of the tape. All right, so just did some cutting on the sides, not too deep, so hopefully nothing happened. Still, all right, so it's starting to open up. Okay, it opened up. You have just particle board basically, but very nice protection. Then within that, the top loader. Yep. So I really like all this extra protection. So this was for a $30 card, right? So the Savannahs that I bought, the other two, and actually this Savannah, this should be the other Savannah. The other ones honestly came in way less protection than this one, right? And this is just $30. So I'm happy with the extra step this seller took. Okay. That reminds me, right? Because since I have two Savannahs, two land taxes, I need to make sure I give the correct credit to the correct seller. So the top loader, you see this is the regular penny sleeve. You see how it's way more wrinkly, way more giving, right? And I can just holding it from you see that the card slides off because it's so wide, right? So that cannot fit in here, right? So these are penny sleeves. The other ones, right? I think they call it inner sleeves, right? So it has a more specialized name. So this is supposed to be near mint, around that grading area. Yeah, looks great. No, I don't see any scratches. Maybe some light dusting, maybe. When I look at it up front, it looks great. Back, really no scratches. Maybe some little dirt here and there, but it all depends on the angle. Certain angles I can't see it. It looks pristine, but definitely very, very nice quality. So I'm happy with it. There we go, right? So all the corners, nothing cut, no scratches that I noticed, things like that. So the back here looks very solid, same thing. So all in all, nice condition. All right, so let me put it in the protection. So this is the inner sleeve on the top. Right, snug fit. See, if I hold it from the sleeve, from the plastic, this doesn't slide off. And then now goes from the top in here as well. So there it is, all covered up. All right, so it looks great. So let me look at the seller. Let me make sure I credit the correct person. Okay, I believe it's this one, but I just want to confirm to be sure. Okay, yeah, it is this one. All right. All right, so here it is. Let me show it. So $30 US with $4 shipping. So for that $4 shipping, I got a really good deal, right? Really heavy protection. Honestly, maybe the best out of every card that I bought so far. Thank you for that. Right, so this one didn't give any grading information, but I see a lot of people don't do that because they kind of don't want, they just want the seller to make their own determination, right? But it looked great on the pictures, front and back, and it looks great in person. So very happy with it. All right, so this one is, even though it says Amazon Prime, it's my second land tax, right? Somebody just reused it. Seems like they reused a bubble, Amazon bubble mailer, and then it's hard to tell what's inside. But it does seem well protected. Like this whole thing just for one card seems like it's a book, right? So definitely very well protected as well. Even though maybe it's reused stuff, whatever. Nonetheless, it's still getting to me in safe condition. All right, so within that, there's another bubble mailer, right? So that's why it was so tricky to tell. So there's several layers. Right, so there's the other bubble mailer. Let me just get a better angle here. A lot of tape to reinforce things, but then that just makes it tricky to open up. And I don't have any scissors because so far I've been able to just get it with the little knife here that I have. But this guy really went crazy with the tape. But it's better to too much than too little. All right, so there it is. So inside, I thought it was cardboard. Yep, so some cardboard to give it more heft. Within it, inside a Ziploc. Oh, there's nothing other than the card. So this person probably, right, it's not somebody who sells magic cards a lot. Maybe not. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Yep, this is the raw card. Nothing inside it. But I mean, this acts as a de facto penny sleeve, or even better than that. And with all the additional layers of protection, I think it was still very well packaged. And it got to me fine. So I guess everything panned out. So the end result was okay. Guess your little speck there. Oh no, it was nothing. Came right off. Yep, the quality looks great. Really no scratches or anything. And then just looking from the front, pristine whiteness on the borders on the front, little scratches on the back, but like I said, you gotta actually, yeah, it's more noticeable even facing forward. But still very nice condition. But I would say this one is, just because of that noticeable scratch on the back, it's lesser condition than this first one. Well, now let me look at, well, let me first put the protection on it. All right, so this go from the top. Snug fit. And then from the top, inside the bigger card sleeve. So this is the final result. There we go. All right, so very, very solid looking card. But at the slightly, because of that little cut, slightly below in terms of quality to the first one that I just opened. So should be the other one, but still, I still want to be precise here with who gets credit for what. Okay, so I found it. So this one also basically same price. didn't have any card rating. So land tax 4th edition, look at it for condition. Mainly, I want to see the back. Okay, you can kind of see a little scratch there, right? That horizontal in between the red and green orbs, right? So to me, that seemed like it was just the way the ink, the card was created, right? Because you can kind of see some other light, lines, but on the card, only that one in between the red and green was visible. So that's an actual scratch. The other stuff is just, and here's, you can see something, right? But you can see other stuff too, right? Which ended up just being the normal card. So it was kind of hard to tell from here. Here you can see it a little bit, right? But definitely you can see that in person. But the edges here looked a bit worse than it actually is, right? So give and take. But really the front is the main thing, right? Here actually looked pretty good. It looks pristine in person, right? So all in all, right, they're both basically the same price. Pretty good condition. So I'm happy with both of them. So this is so far. So 90-ish each, 30 each. Now here we get to the big one. This is, and it's the least packaged one. Why does that always happen? I don't know why. There's a $300 card in here. So this seems like it also either has particle board or has this sarcophagus thingy going on. Right, but it's inside it is, I do feel, even though the outside is leaves a lot to be desired, the inside is very solid, right? So it has an above normal protection. Here it just ended up being cardboard actually. So I thought it was made particle board, but it honestly seems like several layers. But the bad thing is I just made a little cut on this and it opened right up. So actually it was not very, if we would have snagged on something, this thing could have flopped out of the package, right? Because it's just paper. Next time maybe tape the whole thing. Right, but I mean, it got here fine, but it is a $300 card. Okay, so this one I definitely want to be careful. I'll probably cut the sides more, not so much the top, just to make sure I don't cut through the actual card itself. So this one has, the tape is just the more masking tape, right? The paper type tape. So it's easier for me to cut. And then for my guitar playing, I kind of have long nails. So, all right. So within that, actually it was just cardboard. And then a top loader. And then that's the card. All right. So actually this is pretty strong. See, we can hardly bend this. So not as strong as the particle board that the other seller did, but pretty similar, the final result. So just looking at this looks awesome. So top loader, and then it comes with a penny sleeve inside. Okay, so let me, I don't want to bend the card really. Okay, there we go. So yep, the penny sleeve, right? Because the card is very floppy inside. Okay, so looking at the back, looks great. Really no scratches, hardly any weathering. So slightly off center, but that's pretty common. It's more common to get them off center than on. Yeah, this thing is mint. At minimum, near mint. This is gradable, at least according to what I've been able to research. This is great. So let me show the card now without any protection, so it's hopefully more visible. So let's see, zoom up a bit more. So maybe there's something here, like at least I could catch it on the camera. Really, you can't really catch it in person. It's like It's like something that you see maybe from a certain angle, right? But just for me looking at it, it looks great. And if it looks a little off, maybe a little bit, sometimes it might be more just me angling in a certain direction, because it looks great. You see, very solid. I believe I got this, pretty sure I got this for $295. So it was the other two Savannahs I got them for $285. One for $185, one for $187. This was the most expensive, $295. But honestly, still a steal. Savannahs in this condition should be a lot more. Probably in the at least 400 range. So yeah, awesome condition. Card. Let me, so since this is probably the best condition, most expensive card, let me do the sleeving up close. So from the top, if I can do it in this weird angle that my arms is at. All right, so from the top, there we go. Fits in. And then getting this inside. Making sure it's a snug fit. There we go. Very happy with this card. Okay, so this is the final review of an eBay item. Well, other than when I get that fourth Savannah, maybe I don't get it from eBay. I am looking through other means. I am also looking for Card Kingdom. Also went to TCG Player, I believe. Right, so I'm just expanding my options of where I can buy these cards from, right? Because I'm just that one card away from really being fully complete. All right, so here's the listing. Let me show it. So yep, $295, $420 shipping, so $300 basically. Yeah, you see, the card was nice and white the whole way. And oh, here's the back. Yep, solid back, and that's definitely what I got. So I think I received what I paid for in all of these 5 cards. So like I said, 300 here, 100 each here, 30 and 30 here. So close to 700 just in these 5 final cards. So these are the 5 cards I needed. 5 cards plus 55 is going to complete a 60 card deck. When I get that 4th Savannah, I'm just going to substitute at least at the moment, I'll substitute a City of Brass, but I might actually just end up substituting a basic land instead, right? Maybe a plains. So here I'm just putting all the cards with all the other same cards and by color and so forth, just to give a final run through of everything so far. So this is a 60 card deck. It is complete. Other than that, 1 Savannah, but that's just a quick swap. It won't change the deck amount. It's still 60 cards. I'll swap City of Brass for it. Maybe instead another basic land, but that's just a 1-for-1 swap. The 60 card deck is still here right now. All right, so let me give a nice, just to be thorough, a final run through of everything and the versions and so forth. So here, starting things off, for basic force revised, and those were 4s I had already. Here, 6 basic planes, 4th edition that I already had. Here, 3 revised Savannahs in excellent condition, each one. One 4th edition strip mine. One Legends Pendlehaven. 4 Chronicles City of Brass. 1 revised Soul Ring. 3 4th edition Fell War stones. 3 revised Winter Orb. 4 unlimited Icy Manipulator. 2 Birds of Paradise, 1 revised, 1 4th edition. Sorry about that, just some noise from outside. 4 4th edition Land of War Elves. 2 4th edition Sylvan Library. 4 Chronicles Erhnamgeddon. 4 4th edition Swords to Plowshares. 4 4th edition Land Text. 4 4th edition Disenchant. 3 Armageddon, 1 revised, 2 4th edition. And finally, 3 Sarah Angels, 4th edition. All right, so honestly, very, very excited. With the inner sleeve, right, so this is the 2-sleeve method. The deck is really tall, right? So it will probably be made this tall if it didn't have that inner one, right? But I just want to give it that additional layer of protection. So 60 cards completed. So very excited. And like I said, still 1 more Savannah to go, but that still doesn't stop this 60 card deck from being ready. So very excited to have that completed. I was thinking now for the next step, I was thinking of just jumping straight into playing, but I've decided just for a couple of days to, and in the next video, do some more research in terms of the cards and the different kinds of decks there are, because I've noticed that as from watching the videos, online videos, right? People just play, and it's kind of assumed the other person already knows what they played and so forth, right? So the games kind of go fast, right? Because everyone knows the cards, and right, you don't have to explain things. You know what the other person's doing. That's not true for my case, because I've been focused more on standard, right? So I was playing with the new Magic card releases as they were coming in, and I had Magic Arena, which is basically standard for the most part, right? So, but I gave all that up because I just had it with all the just diluting of the original Magic game. But then that, I really have to review all the older cards, review the deck types, so that way when I do play, right, I can be more informed. I don't have to like keep double checking, right, and referring, okay, what does that do again? I just want it to be less awkward, and just more fluid. So I feel I need to research more when it comes to that, right? So I already started researching all the Alpha Beta Unlimited cards, right, which is all the same cards, with tiny differences, right, but basically the same set. So I'm starting with that, and then I just want to have a working knowledge of all the cards, at least as much as I can, right? Obviously, not every card is played in Old School Magic, but at least I want to run through all of them mentally, understand them in case I see it, and also just research more deck games, people playing against each other, kind of like the Timmy the Sorcerer video that originally inspired this deck. Just so once again, so that when I do start playing, which will be within a few days still, my playing could be more fluid. I don't have to have everything explained to me and drag down the game for those reasons, right? So I think I need to do that first. I waited long enough for this, right? Just a couple of days more is not going to make a difference. And I think in terms of the totality, won't make a difference, but I think it will make a difference for me as a player, to have a more enjoyable experience, and also to be a better player in terms of knowing what to expect, knowing what kind of decks there are, knowing what the game plan is of the other person, just from understanding what cards they already have played. Okay, I know that this is probably this kind of deck that he's playing, so I can expect these cards. I can expect this type of action to occur, and this is how he wants to win the game, right? So I think that's important, because it'll inform me in my actions. Of course, I have my own game plan, but depending on who I'm playing with, what I think they're holding back on, and so forth, that will definitely impact what decisions I make in game, right? So that's why I think it's very important for me to just take a couple of days to research. So I'll make one video about that, because I want to give you guys, right, just a quick summary of what I did, what it is that I researched, right? Old School Magic is so huge, I can't possibly give a video on everything, right? That'd be hours. But I still want to give kind of like one video that gets the bigger highlights of what to expect, which are the key cards in certain decks, stuff like that, right? So that way, hopefully, somebody else that's watching through my research, that can shorten their research, because I kind of did it for them already, right? And then just they can take the leap faster into playing by watching my video, right? So for my own self, I just want to have that knowledge first before I tackle playing, right? But definitely, I see that just a couple more days, and also just researching the play group, right? Because I joined the play group, but I hardly know anything about it, right? I know there's kind of like, I see people shuffling in certain ways. They like split it in 3 ways, things like that, right? So there's a etiquette to it, right? So which I don't know. I just watch videos, So I can only assume from the videos, right? So, that's why, it's not just the playing, not just the card, there's those hidden rules, hidden expectations that I want to absorb more before I actually play, right? So that way, I just feel more confident in myself, and it's a better experience overall for me and my opponent. So that is the next step, but very excited to have this completed. Basically $2,000 right here. So definitely way more than I wanted originally to be sub 1,000, right? Definitely with the extra, I think just this is already 2,000, pretty sure. And then the last Savannah is just going to put it over the top. But I think it's worth it, especially for those Savannahs. I'm only holding out for really nice condition ones. In the 300 range, I already got 3 of them in that price, so I think another one is possible. I just got to be patient and then lucky as well, right? All right, so thank you for watching this video, and thank you for, if you watched everything or most of it, thank you for keeping along with my journey. The journey is not complete. The journey to completing the deck, sans one card, is complete, right? But that's really just the first step. Right now it's research, then actually playing. Once I play, I may make switches, or it might inform my sideboard. Right now I'm not going to play without a sideboard, because I just want to know how these 60 cards react to things, and then that'll inform my sideboard. So that'll be the next step after that. But games will be coming up shortly. I just want to take a couple of days to research, and just get more experience mentally, and just be more prepared as a player. So thank you everyone for making it through all these videos, from the very beginning up to here. But after this, soon will be the playing, right? The next step in the journey. So hopefully you guys can stick around for that part as well. Thank you.